How can we involve employees in the AI transition? Let's find out what this team of young professionals have to say in this video podcast episode of the Partnership Academy.
Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all here in the studio. I'm super curious because I know this has something to do with AI, but who's going to kick off?
We want to measure what is the real impact of AI on people. This is why we created this initiative. It's called Human in AI. Mm-hmm. And we want to go to organizations and measure what is the employees, the humans side of AI. So we want to understand what are the challenges with adopting AI tools, if there are, what is the mental state, the psychological state of these employees in the organization. And we want to help them, support them, both organization and employees, to actually scale this state.
Okay. So I guess my first question would be, though, why? Maybe Victoria, why not just roll out the AI, let people deal with it?
Well, did you know that actually a successful AI transition is not only based on a tool or an adoption of a tool, but how people feel about that tool? Research shows that AI feels like very complex and scary, and because of that, people are becoming less innovative. They fear their jobs. They get this so-called techno stress. And researchers
I was going to say, are there numbers around this?
Yes. So actually, 1 in 4 employees in the European banking area is using AI, and 40% think that they are positively about AI. But 20% are super afraid that it will take their jobs, and because of that fear, they cannot adopt it properly. And that's why our tool is important.
But I mean, Matteo, people could just say this is some sort of PR initiative to help employers cut jobs, ultimately, right? You're just easing the process for people to accept that they're being replaced by robots.
Mm-hmm. Well, on this, I could actually give you my perspective as I work in IT. So from the very beginning, I was thrown into this context where we had these large language models or other AI tooling to work along us, maybe to replace us in the future. So people actually state that, and every other day it feels like tech CEOs come out and say, yeah, developers will be replaced at some point. Yeah. So why should I work with a tool that is actually going to make my job outdated because it's going to be fully automated. You can actually exploit the tools and understand where they can help you and what's their limitations. The greatest strength that they have is that they can empower your own strengths.
But I mean, this is an IT guy talking. Ines, which department do you work in?
I work in regulatory policies.
Oh, okay. So, I'm going to focus on you, Ines, then. Yes. And the IT guy is always going to love anything AI and anything techy. For you, I mean, on a personal level, why is this an important topic for you to be involved in thinking about?
Yes, so I think I'm afraid of the technology and how it will impact the way we work. I think in conversations also with different colleagues, what we're more concerned about is that AI and these machines will take away the most creative, fun parts of our jobs. So the concern is that if AI takes away the brainstorming part, the problem-solving part, the critical part of our job, then what we're left is mainly with checking whether AI made any mistake. And so, I think this raises huge problems for companies. How can they stay relevant and competitive, efficient through technology, while still remaining a place that feels fulfilling and appealing to their own people?
Okay, that's clear. Talk me through, step by step. What's the?
Well, I wouldn't call it solution. I would call it, like we always call it, like we want to raise awareness in a sense, because it's a whole process, right? Like a solution on AI, it's very like a high goal. But what we want to do is we want to go to an organization and measure with a metric and through like talking with people, you know, with employees, measure what is their state of mind and what is their relationship with AI. And with that data that we, as Victoria mentioned before, we also like scatter online, and we did some research via university papers and stuff. We want to actually measure in an organization and go to the organization itself and help build a suitable path to make the employee feel more empowered. Okay, so it's going to be the solution itself. It's going to be chosen by the employee with the organization. So we're going to help merging their existing capability and the strategy of the organization to find, you know, a common ground. So as also Ines said, make it relevant.
So have you already developed this matrix?
Each matrix is specific to the organization. We're going to first, of course, try with our own organization. That's our aim. And to, in our department, because we work in different departments, but the majority of us work in the same department. And we wanted to try here, so in a smaller scale. And and trying to build then a metric that can be suitable for different departments and then different organization.
Okay, so you've got this matrix. People call you up and say, yeah, we want you to come and analyze our company and make our employees feel happier. And then what happens after that?
We have contact with experts outside and enthusiastic people inside of organization, also our own organization, people that work in transition, cultural transitions and university, they want to say something. So when we're going to have the output of this analysis phase, we can understand where to focus on. Okay, and we're going to have conversation with this expert to see where we can tackle the problem.
Okay. All right. It sounds very broad, and I'm thinking you're all financial professionals, and this feels almost like you need psychologists when you're going to this company. Is that how you see it? You're going to have a team of people?
Yeah, actually, that's our idea, what our idea is. And already in the interviews that we have done, we have talked with so many people inside of the organization, outside of the organization, colleagues, friends. And also we have included some interviews of psychologists or like social experts and life coaches. So it's really important.
Who haven't you talked to?
Actually, we have talked to almost everyone, I think, last couple of months.
And the outcome of those discussions was, this is a good idea, this is necessary.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think almost all the people that we talk, they are super enthusiastic about the topic. They are super into it, and they want to help. So. Yeah, we have like a big network that we can use. And the first thing that we did is like, we will create this metric that Martina mentioned. And these questions, they came up from the conversation that we had.
What's the unique selling point here? Victoria, Ines?
We're focusing now on validating certain assumptions first internally. And after that, we will see how the research and the results lead us to.
Yeah, we want to be competitive, but the first thing is to understand the human and to understand the AI and how can we use it in our benefit. Okay.
Like, I can ask you, are you afraid of AI?
Good question. I think sometimes. I think it differs. It's complex. It's not black and white for me.
I like the differ, because that's really important. AI is not AI, one thing, one tool. It's so many solutions. And today we have so many solutions on AI. And one thing can be scary. Yes, two things can be scary, but not everything is scary.
Well, how far are you along in the process? Because you are still developing it, still talking to people.
Yes, we are still developing it. We don't know when it will be exactly launched or when it will bring exact results. But we know that it will bring some results, and those results will be important because we need to see if there is a gap in the AI transition between the humans and the tools. And if there is no gap, then we are good to go. The given organization is considering human in AI and going accordingly. But if there is a gap, that's when we can come into action. And that's when we can support first our organization internally with experts. And that's how we see the future as well, with courage, care, and collaboration.
Okay. And in terms of getting this to market, let's say, developing this matrix and getting new clients on board, what support do you need from your organization, Matteo?
We want to do it internally initially. We want to kickstart this whole project with the help of our organization, because we really think we can bring a concrete contribution in the understanding of the toolings and also how the people use the tool and how we can all, get empowered by the tools.
So whose support do you need?
Sorry?
Whose support do you need?
Well, we already had a lot of support from the colleagues that we spoke with, also a lot of experts in different domains from different angles. They brought their, enthusiasm to the cause. So we had that support. We also have the support of our managers, for example.
In what sort of support? Are we saying, okay, we're going to give you can work on this for this amount of time, or you've got access to these resources, or you can, I don't know, we're going to hire someone to come in and help you?
Well, for now, we have colleagues with many expertise, so we had that kind of support, so we can tackle the challenges from different angles. Now we also have access to different kinds of resources from our own department to really kickstart the whole project and see if we can tailor a solution to our company's use case. But this is just a starting point, because we also want to bring it outside, of course.
Yeah.
We have also the support of experts outside. So this is just the beginning.
But I'm still interested in the starting point. They're giving you all this support, which is great, but what are you building? Because I've heard about the matrix, I've heard about reaching out to clients.
Yeah, well, that's part of the product, actually, because we are supporting this. The product is basically this whole new initiative, this whole attitude towards this problem. We see it as a problem, it's a challenge, it's a social challenge. All these conversations that we're having, they're part of the product. The matrix itself is a product, because upon that, then we can tailor this path or that path,
Gotcha.
Let me add to that actually our product is the bridge between the human and the AI.
Okay.
Can we validate those assumptions? Yes, we can. And how do we do it? We create a sort of matrix. And this matrix was built internally and externally. And it's a list of questions that we're going to go to the employee with, and we're going to ask. So they're going to fill this questionnaire. And from that questionnaire, we're going to try to match it with our matrix. So it's kind of like the psychological state of the employee. And with that, we're going to go to then back to the, let's say, the organization.
Yeah.
And we're going to show what exactly is the state of the employee at the moment and what they need to match it, with the strategy of the organization.
Is there not a risk that actually what they want to prioritize is the AI software and just...
Well, if you go on and prioritize only the software without thinking about the human part of it, then you waste a lot of money. Because you might prioritize a software. It costs a lot of money to develop it. It costs a lot of money to keep it up to date. And people refuse to use it, or people use it incorrectly, or people fully trust the result what they get, which is not necessarily true, or use in a way that is not appropriate and not compliant. And by doing that, the organization might risk huge fines or might risk wrong results, wrong decisions.
So this should be the starting point, actually.
Actually, we had an interview with a hire manager that he's actually one of the early adopters of the AI in our organization. And he said that in the end, it's all about humans. Like humans needs to use the tools. Humans needs to understand it and use it, as good as possible. Yeah.
No, clear.
You need to ask the right questions. You need to have the right approach. Otherwise, if you delegate everything, you can create something that really works. But then down the line, you don't really know if you have the proper checks, if you have the proper security checks, as Victoria said. So you can incur in issues downstream, right? So if you can create this kind of framework that we're working on in order for companies to empower their employees, I mean, you're going to have like a 10 times the effect. I think the sum is greater than their parts.
By the time you develop your matrix and you've got your client base and partner network set up and everything, the conversation might already have moved so much far forward that you're actually behind. What do you think?
Yes, but if we don't start it now, then in a year from now, things continue to evolve, and we didn't start it at all.
You really are
right?
left behind. Yeah.
So yes, I don't think we're that concerned with that aspect.
Okay, super. Well, I've definitely learned a lot. Thank you very much. It's nice to end with perhaps a call to action. I don't know, for any of your future customers, clients out there who'd like to do that.
Yeah, I may.
Martina? Yeah, go ahead.
So if you're a company and you invested a lot in AI, or you're considering investing in AI, we would like to support this AI transition and not forgetting the human part behind. So come to us.
Now, clear. Well, thank you very much. I wish you all the best with the idea. I'm grateful someone's looking into more of the human side of this. Because, I do get fearful sometimes as well.
Yeah.
So keep going. Look forward to the Matrix getting out there.
Thank you so much.